It's high time to awake. Bible prophecy with Craig C. White. Hello, everybody. This is Craig C. White with HighTimeToAwake.com.
Today's study is titled Psalm 83 War, Hidden in a Secret Place. It is very popular these days to say that the Psalm 83 war will happen soon. Well, it will happen pretty soon, but not before the rapture of the church and not before the tribulation. It will happen at the end of the tribulation. Psalm 83 is short and simple. The key to understanding it is to recognize who thy hidden ones are in verse 3. They are the Jews from Judea, the region south of Jerusalem, including Jerusalem, who have fled into the wilderness during the second half of the tribulation. The wilderness is the mountainous region of Jordan east of Jerusalem. Mark 13:14. But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains. Psalm 83 is a request for God's help. It represents the Judean refugees' call for defense at the end of the tribulation. Jesus Christ will come through Jordan, defeating Israel's enemies. In the following verse, Edom and Bozrah are in today's Jordan. Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Isaiah is describing Jesus Christ as he heads toward Jerusalem through Jordan. His garments are soaked with the blood of Israel's enemies.
Israel's enemies have gathered in Bozrah, south of Moab in Jordan. The Bible tells us that the Judean refugees are taking refuge in Moab. Jesus has swept through Jordan, destroying the armies that have come against the Judean refugees. This is the answer to the Psalm 83 prayer.
I have broken Psalm 83 into 4 sections. God, be not still, counsel, counsel, list of enemies, and do unto others as you have done unto them before. The first section is God, be not still. Psalm 83:1. A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. The word not is used 3 times in the opening verse of Psalm 3. This is a prayer that God would not allow the people of Israel to be killed by their enemies. Also, that God would not fail to devise an offense against Israel's enemies, and that God would not be idle while Israel's enemies attack. Psalm 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Israel's enemies hate Israel. The enemies of Israel are the adversaries of God. They are making a loud sound. They are enraged. They are screaming to make war on the Judean refugees now in Jordan. They hate God personally. The word translated head in verse 2 is the Hebrew word Rosh. Rosh means chief or primary. Here it may refer to a leader. Israel's enemies have magnified their leader, and now they think that they can fight against God because to them their ruler is supreme. Section 2 is titled Counsel, Counsel. Psalm 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. God's enemies have assembled together in a secret meeting and have devised a cunning plan against the nation of Israel to utterly destroy them. They have deliberated together to kill God's hidden ones. In verse 3, the term hidden ones means to hide by covering over. The Judean refugees are protected in mountainous dens in Jordan. They are kept in a secret place until Jesus Christ returns. In Isaiah 16, God allows the Jews escaping Judah to take refuge in Moab, which is in today's Jordan, east of the Dead Sea. This verse is applied to the time just before Jesus Christ takes his place on his throne in Jerusalem. Isaiah 16, verse 3. Take counsel, execute judgment. Make thy shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide the outcasts. Bewray not him that wandereth. Let mine outcasts dwell with thee. Moab, be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler. Here God is telling Moab, which is in Jordan today, to hide his outcasts or refugees. In the middle of the tribulation, Jews in Judea will flee to the mountains or wilderness, where God will sustain them for 3.5 years. I think that this place is on the east side of the Jordan River, where Israel entered the land after the Exodus. It is also the place where ravens fed Elijah as he hid. It is also the place where King David and his men fled out of Jerusalem from Absalom, his son, when he took over the kingdom of Israel.
It is a popular view to think that the Judean refugees will take shelter in the rock city of Petra. Petra is in the region of Edom in Jordan, but Isaiah commands Moab to hide the Judean refugees. Moab is the region just to the north of Edom. The Judean refugees will hide in Moab. Today there is a significant refugee camp in the city of Kirak in Moab. Kirak is also the home of a mighty fortress known as the Kirak Castle. It was built in 1142 and still stands strong today with 10-foot thick stone walls. The Judean refugees could reside in the refugee camp at Kirak for 3.5 years. Then, when the going gets tough at the end of the tribulation period, they could seek shelter in the Kirak fortress.
Mark chapter 13, verse 14 says, But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains. Revelation 12, verse 6 says, And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days, which is 3.5 years. Revelation 12:14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. In the previous verse, wings of a great eagle refers to God's supernatural help given to Israel in time of flight. This idiom is applied to Israel during the Exodus. It is also applied to Israel's deliverance from Jerusalem at the end of the Great Tribulation. It is applied here to the people in Judea just before Israel is overrun with its enemies during the Great Tribulation period. Zechariah tells us that Jesus will save the tents of Judah before he saves the city of Jerusalem. In Zechariah 12, verse 7 it says, The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. It may be that the tents of Judah are those people of Judea who fled to the Jordanian mountains. They have been living there for 3.5 years, protected by God. Psalm 83, verse 4. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. During their meeting, Israel's enemies plan to destroy the nation of Israel. They have deliberated together and all agree. They have made a pact with themselves. This is describing a Middle Eastern conference where a contract is written that all nations agree to. They will completely eradicate the nation of Israel. Section 3 is called List of Enemies. Psalm 83, verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot. This list of Israel's enemies is mostly describing the nation of Jordan. Edom is in today's Jordan. Ishmaelites settled Saudi Arabia, but I don't think that Saudi Arabia is represented here. Ishmaelites also settled in today's southern Jordan. Hagarenes settled in today's Jordan. There is a Gebal in Lebanon, but this Gebal is in today's Jordan. It is in the southern part of ancient Edom. Ammon settled in today's Jordan. Amalek probably lived just west of today's Jordan. The Philistines lived on Israel's Mediterranean coast. I think they represent Lebanon here, along with Tyre. Ashur is ancient Assyria. Today it is best represented by northern Iraq. So Lebanon and Iraq agree to help the children of Lot. Lot's children were Moab and Ammon. Like I said before, they both settled in today's Jordan. So Psalm 83 is describing a Jordanian conference where Lebanon and Iraq agree to help Jordan eliminate the Jewish refugees who have fled from southern Israel into the mountainous wilderness of western Jordan. Section 4 of Psalm 83 is titled, Do unto others as you have done unto them before. Psalm 83, verse 9. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmunna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with the tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Jehovah, art the most high over all the earth. The verses above describe armies destroyed by Israel while led by Gideon. See Judges chapter 4 and chapter 8. The bloodshed of these ancient battles started in the valley of Megiddo and ended in western Jordan. Psalm 83 describes a treaty to eliminate the Judean refugees that have fled into western Jordan. Jesus Christ will personally pour out his wrath on the armies of Jordan, Iraq, and Lebanon. He will save the Jewish people who are hiding in the mountainous region of western Jordan, who are hiding in a secret place waiting for Jesus Christ's return.
Make sure you go to hightimetoawake.com, check out my Bible prophecy commentaries, and also check out my Bible prophecy books on Amazon. This is Craig C. White with hightimetoawake.com, and I'll see you next time.